And here we are back again, and if it isn't one of my favorite plays that we're going to be discussing, this is George Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion. Now, this is not, the musical, because you don't need the musical to get the play with a great story. So we have three of the guests with us. We have, sitting next to me, Kathleen Engelhardt. Next to her is Katrina Wilkinson, and then next to her is Cait Webber with two B's. Good. We're going to find out how this production is just a tad bit different. Tell us about it.
This production is just a tad bit different, all right. We've decided that Professor Higgins has a definite female character working for her. Yes. Yes. And all of George Bernard Shaw is still there. We just did a little gender switching for the dialogue.
Okay, good. Well,
yes.
You have to a little bit, maybe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
we
because there's no love interest there, probably.
Yes, but the young lady that plays Professor Henrietta Higgins.
Henrietta Higgins, oh, I love it.
Amy Lamina, she's a wonderful, wonderful actress. So I'm really looking forward to doing this production.
Great. And now, did she have to learn a little of a British accent, or are you doing it in just regular?
We are doing this play in an alternate universe.
I love that. I love alternate universes.
Yes, we are.
An alternate steampunk universe.
Yes.
Say that again.
An alternate steampunk universe.
Really?
Yes.
They had to explain it to me, too.
Okay, well, tell us about that.
Oh, how would you describe
Katrina?
Steampunk can be best described as taking the Victorian era motif in clothing and then kind of progressing it into kind of science fiction, Jules Verne, if the steam engine had taken off and all of modern technology was now run by steam power. So there's a lot of like clockwork and
that's
piping
cool.
and brass everywhere.
Lots of brass.
Lots
of
brass.
brass.
Oh my God! Well, let's back up just a little bit, and we're going to talk about your character. You're playing Mrs. Higgins.
I'm playing Henrietta's mother.
Okay.
A very straight-laced, but heart-loving person.
Of course, has to be. Yes. Well, I mean, you can't beat the play. The play is
No,
wonderful. Yeah.
no. The play tells the story so well, and we didn't have much trouble switching the male character to female, and I really enjoy it that way.
How fun.
Yes.
Well, they did the Odd Couple, and they did that in the female,
female
version. You can do that
yes.
quite a bit. Change them, and why not? Tell us about your character.
I play Clara Eynsford-Hill. She's a very young, ambitious, but incredibly naive social climber.
Social climber.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You can't relate to that, I'm sure.
No, her job is to get a husband.
Okay.
That's her one goal in life.
Yes,
so.
of course. And I love that.
No, she doesn't.
That's great. And Cait, you're playing Mrs. Pearce.
Mrs. Pearce. I'm playing Henrietta's overwrought housekeeper who has to constantly put up with her shifts of mood and her adopting strange experiments and letting strange people into my house, which I try to keep clean. It's a trial. It's a real trial.
Who's playing Eliza Doolittle?
Eliza is being played by Tricia Studo.
Okay.
And
She's fantastic.
She
Absolutely
is fantastic.
Yes.
She's this short little ball of energy, and does a very
That's such a great
good
part,
job.
isn't it? Such a great part.
It is, and Eliza does use the Cockney type of accent.
Well, that's what the story's about.
Exactly.
So she has to kind of squeeze it in
And
there
she
somewhere.
does, and she makes a great transition.
I'm glad
to
it's not rap
English.
and that she has to change it.
Well, we thought about having her do just Dubonics, but it didn't work out.
What fun! You guys are having a good time.
Yes,
with it.
we are.
The
yes.
play is a Classic Theater Guild, and where are you performing that? Because I know that you changed spaces for this year.
We are performing it at 137 State Street, Classic Theater's main office.
Your main place.
Yes.
Your rehearsal space and everything.
It is our rehearsal space, and now the room has been changed to fulfill our set needs. And it's like being inside the set. When the audience comes in, you'll be right among us.
You're in the set.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
We have our audience right on the edge of the set, and there's no way they can miss a trick.
Good. Now, you've got a few scenes in this. How are you accomplishing that? Or do you do the racetrack, and do you do I mean, do they do that in the play? See, I can't,
no, the play doesn't
the play and the
go
musical
there.
kind of
Right.
blends together for me, so
It
I'm
does.
not sure what scenes that you're working with.
These scenes are there are 5 scenes. The first scene is a crowd scene where you get to know people in the crowd, and then of course these people in the crowd turn out to be the main characters in the play.
And then she's selling flowers, of course.
Of course. And the second scene is more of a dialogue between Liza and Henrietta with Liza's father, Mr. Doolittle. And then we move to the third scene where Mrs. Higgins comes in at home and entertains everyone. The fourth scene is another dialogue scene between Professor and Eliza. And then in the fifth scene, we are all gathered and get to wrap up the nice relationship between Pickering, Eliza, and Miss Higgins, Miss Henrietta Higgins.
I love that. I really like the idea. You know, it causes you to think outside the box and to kind of, when you start looking at the script, do we have to massage this just a little bit? How's that going to work?
We do have to massage it just a little bit, but believe me, not much. I was very surprised. We didn't have to mess around with George Bernard Shaw. We just changed a little gender. You don't mess with
playwright.
Well, really, we were trying to be a little more true to George Bernard Shaw because, you know, the musical inserted that whole romance, and he's very clear. There's no romance between them.
No, right.
So we,
Yeah, that's why it kind of blends together when you because I read the book many years ago, but you know how many times have we seen the musical? Musical.
Oh yes.
So you know we're so used to seeing that we kind of we've gotten away from the play itself. How long have you been acting, Cait?
I have been acting for about 5 years now.
Okay, you
on
like
and
it,
off.
huh?
I do.
Yeah, fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
How about you?
5 years as
Katrina?
well.
Yeah, you too, right? Do you have background in it, or do you you're natural?
Well, I did study drama at SUNY Potsdam. I did a lot of work up there with Clarkson Theater Productions, but
Okay.
you know I've just been down here doing some local theater productions.
Yeah. And you too?
I actually study with Laura Lee Eckerbelly with the Blue Horse Repertory
Oh, yeah,
adult
I
acting
know who you
class.
mean,
Yes,
yeah.
I absolutely love her.
Yeah.
And just
I have her
acting
card
and-
on my desk.
Oh, she's fantastic. I love her.
Yeah, good. And you have been...
I have been around for 5 years also. I took it up when I retired, had the time to myself.
So
and
you
I
want to know
said,
what to do when you retire? Get on the stage, right?
all my life I've always wanted to, but
Yeah.
of course, you know, life steps in and you raise your children and
Absolutely.
you work for a living.
Yeah,
And I'm having the wonderful time of my life
There's
with
nothing
this
better
retirement.
than theater for kind of getting in there and meeting people and forming a new family for 6 weeks that you bond to, and then maybe...
It's true. And then you keep meeting different ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
and we have another theater group coming on, so maybe you know some of them too as well. So.
I'm totally familiar with Albany Civic. They were the ones who gave me my first play, Our
you
Town, back there
There
5
you go.
years ago.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Well, we want to encourage you to, and will be in Schenectady, it's Classic Theater Guild, and they are going to be doing Pygmalion, George Bernard Shaw's very, very famous play. But they have a new twist to it, so you want to go just to see that twist and how it all works out.
Yes, it
Thank
will
you,
be good
Cait,
to see
and
it.
Katrina, and
you.
Kathleen. It's so
Thank
nice
you,
to have
Ann.
you all here today, and to get out there and enjoy some of the great theater that's in our area. There's just so much. Isn't it great? I mean, you could probably can look through that audition list and pick, right?
Oh, I pick every one of them, yes.
Good. And probably well said. Well done. Good.